eagle. The bald eagle, you can. The bald eagle. Yeah. You got a rock climbing. 这不行，我没有带。A couple here. Descobrindo toda uma história assim. Oh, we take a picture over here. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thôi chứ đồ hả mày coi ra.
The history here is amazing. I'm actually training her. I'm one of the tour guides, and I'm training her to take it over because I'm moving.
Oh my
goodness. And we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go through Fairyland Caverns, and that took 10 years to build. And they had a local artist, Jessie Sanders, come in, and she made all the gnomes that you've seen throughout here, and that was part of her German folklore and her German heritage. She loved the old folk tales, and so therefore she wanted to have something for the children. Originally, Fairyland Caverns was supposed to be connected by a train, but of course the rock was the problem. So they mixed it and now it's a rock. So the first thing they do is Fairyland Caverns.
To illuminate scenes and spur the imagination. At the end of Fairyland Caverns, you'll find Mother Goose Village, completed in 1964. Sculptress Jessie Sanders, whose work you'll see throughout the cavern, lovingly spent 6 years creating a 15-foot-high storybook castle. So surrounded by characters from over 2 dozen rhymes and children's stories. As you descend the steps, let your imagination take you to an enchanted fairyland. Perhaps memories from your own childhood.
Yeah, they use coral and stuff. Most of this is coral.
Oh, that's a little windy in here.
Yeah,
That's the gnome room.
You notice the difference?
Yeah.
When you leave here, you'll have a greater appreciation for birds of prey in the natural world. By the way, all the birds you're going to see in this program today can be found throughout the United States. So many of you might even have raptors living in your backyard. Now, before we talk about birds today, we're going to talk about something that's quite extraordinary, and that is nature. Structures, it can be found throughout the world and likes to hang out in agricultural areas. But here in the United States, barn owls aren't nearly as common as most owl species. In fact, they're found mostly in the southern part of the United States and some in the Midwest. Now, Bob is a human-imprinted barn owl. He doesn't know he's a bird. He actually thinks he's one of us. And what they do is, like a baseball glove, our pinna captures sound and directs it into our ears. Without our pinna, we could still hear, but we would not be able to locate the direction of the sound. Now, if you look at Bob, you'll notice, thank goodness for him, he doesn't have pinna. He's got something far superior. Bob has a facial disc, a parabolic reflector, much like a satellite dish or that ridiculous looking thing up there. You've heard of Woodsy the owl? That's Moldy the owl. He's got some serious issues. Now, if you look at Moldy, you'll notice he's got a couple of eyes. Well, that's where owls' ears are located, right behind their eyes, one slightly higher than the other. Now, here's the advantage to this. Sound reaches one ear a little faster than it does the other. So if an owl can hear something in the distance, they will bob their heads back and forth. He also weighs a massive 1 pound. Hard to believe. Yeah, well, of course, feathers are very light, but the real reason is birds that fly have hollow bones. Those bones are hollow, not like a straw, but more like a cardboard box. So though they're lightweight, they're actually incredibly strong. I have one more time for you.
Bobby did a great job.
The eastern screech owl can be one of 3 color forms or phases. It can be grayish brown like Buddy, reddish brown, and all brown come from the same clutch of eggs. Around our theater here is actually pretty decent screech owl habitat. They like open grassy areas, large trees with holes in them for nesting.
Now, the barn owl is actually called a hoot owl. How many have ever heard owls hooting before? Okay, well, here in the eastern half of the United States, there's 2 main hoot owls, one being the great horned owl, the other being the barred owl. How many have ever heard that before? Well, I don't do it justice, but anyway, sorry. If you ever hear a barred owl hooting, believe it or not, you can hoot.
Way too much. He thinks he's one of us. We can't let him go because of that. If we do, problems may come up. Sometimes a bird raised by humans gets released. It will not hunt. It'll seek out humans to feed it. If it does catch its own food, then a problem comes up in a few years, and it's time for this bird to find a mate. They don't go look for a bird like themselves to be their mates. Been thinking now, and getting ready, set, stop. He's looking again. I think you may have to do something first, though, Dale. He needs to lighten his load just a little bit. And there it is. All right, now you may go. We'll go one more time across this way. As with the barn owl, we're feeding him a little piece of mouse. Mice, by the way, are one of the secret ingredients of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm kidding. One of those special ingredients. So begin to zip this way, maybe a little downwind, so maybe a little faster. Okay, you did land all right. Earlier mentioned this bird will hover when it hunts. Many birds of prey do that. It's a very effective way.
They live in heavily wooded areas, open fields, and all points in between. This is Cody, and he's aptly called a red-tailed hawk. Now, the red-tailed hawk gets its name for that beautiful brick red tail it has. As a youngster, its tail is actually grayish-brown. It takes this bird anywhere from a year to a year and a half to grow its red tail. Now, Cody was found in Cody, Wyoming, found next to a roadside, nearly starved to death. He was so lucky that he was rescued and taken to a rehab facility, but later they discovered that he simply did not have the predatorial instincts in order to survive on his own in the wild.
The first year of a red-tailed hawk's or any birds of prey's life is its most crucial. That's when they're trying to figure out how to hunt. Some of them simply don't figure it out and do not make it. Now, this bird is so successful for many reasons. First of all, it's opportunistic. That means they'll eat whatever they can find in the wild, such as rodents and reptiles, insects, birds, and bats. And they've been even known to eat dead animals. They can withstand great temperature extremes from the very cold of the north to the great heat of the desert. And they have a slow metabolism, which means they can go weeks without ever eating one bite of food. You may not be interested this morning. Here, buddy. It's like it's Easter, it's a holiday. I'm a flying. Okay, where's my egg? Okie dokie, that was wonderful. Let's give him a big hand for underachievement. So, as you're driving around, look around. You'll see these birds all over the place, up in trees and telephone.
Casey the black vulture, she is now 15 years old. Found a small youngster on the ground in North Carolina. People found her, thought her parents had abandoned her, so they took her in and raised her. And eventually she was turned over to the Carolina Raptors Center in Charlotte. They did their best. Hey, Casey, come back. They did their best to get her back in the wild. Now these are very social birds. A wild vulture flock rarely accept young that aren't their own. Now that year, 2 of the young vultures came in the same time Casey did. All 3 were released into a wild flock. Now the other 2 young vultures stayed with the flock. Hey, Dale, if you can bring her back out with you. The other 2 young vultures stayed with the flock. Casey came back to humans on 3 different occasions, so she thinks she's one of us. Now, in this area we also have the turkey vulture. The turkey vulture has a reddish head as an adult and flies with wings held in a V or dihedral. I'm going to need you to sit down there, please, in the pink. Thank you very much. We're getting ready to fly Casey this way. The black vulture has black wings, white spots near the wingtips, and a short black tail. Casey has a 4-foot wingspan and weighs 4 pounds. Okay, a little bit of downwind here. Okay. Now, earlier you saw Casey trying to bite my legs like she's doing right now. There is such a thing as pecking order in vultures. As Casey was raised by humans, she has applied this pecking order principle to our very small group. Dale is lucky. She's at the top of the pecking order. I am not. I'm at the bottom. Casey does her best to show me she is my superior by biting little hunks of flesh out of my legs. Even she'll bite me through my long pants now. Used to, she didn't bother me that way, but she's figured out she can inflict pain just easily and not show the damage. Take over bare head for a good reason. You think about this, folks. If your job description reads, stick your head inside dead animals, you're going to want a low-maintenance dude. Now, these are actually very clean birds. Given the opportunity to take a bath after they eat, they will. But they can't always wash all the bacteria off their heads with water. Contained in sunlight are ultraviolet rays. The ultraviolet rays will beat down this bird's bare head, finish the job of disinfecting. We'll look at Casey's feet. They're more like chicken feet or turkey feet, more for walking around. Cody the redtail has powerful feet. She'll get Dale occasionally too. Cody the redtail has powerful feet. He needs to defend himself, so he'll use those strong feet. In low-lying areas, vultures nest on the ground. Makes her young. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce to you the living symbol of the United States of America, the bald eagle.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to Osceola. Osceola is a 38-year-old male bald eagle who was shot in the wild 36 years ago. Sadly, his left wing was so severely damaged it required amputation just to save his life. Now, it's truly hard to believe anyone could be cruel enough to shoot such a magnificent bird. Federal law makes it illegal to kill any bird of prey, with serious penalties for anyone harming a bald eagle. Now, where does the bald eagle get its name? It's obviously not bald. In this case, bald is an old English word that meant white-headed. It takes the bald eagle about 5 years to grow its white head and tail. Prior to this, it's a mostly brownish bird. By the way, this bird's other name is the American eagle, and it's been our national symbol since 1782. Why, if Benjamin Franklin would have had his way, our national symbol would have been the wild turkey. Then we might have been known as a nation of turkeys. Now, the bald eagle can be found mostly around water. Of course, its main source of food is fish. But like other birds of prey, they do like to eat a variety of things, such as water birds, reptiles, mammals, and sometimes even dead animals. Now, the bald eagle is one of the largest birds of prey we have here in North America. In fact, if you ever get to Alaska, you may see bald eagles with wingspans approaching 8 feet. Now, Osceola may only have one wing, but believe it or not, he has flown again on a hang glider. John back there has been a hang glider pilot for over 40 years, and he got this idea, why not take Osceola up with me so he can fly again? So John decided to create a special little harness for Osceola to lay in. They've been on a number of flights together right down the road at Lookout Mountain Flight Park in Georgia. And here is John and Osceola soaring together. We'd like to thank you so much for coming today. You all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.